Hey guys, welcome back to Medical Coding with Blue. Today is Vlogmas Day 2. Today's topic, don't overthink, just do it afraid. If you are brand new to my channel, welcome. I am Blue. I'm a medical coder. I have decided to do the theme of Vlogmas for the next 24 days to be about motivation. So I hope you'll join me on this little series. And if you like the video, I hope that you'll hit that thumbs up. And if this video helps you, I hope that you will share it. So let's get started. All right. Overthinking is the thief of dreams. I have said this many times on my channel. But when we overthink, why are we overthinking? Because we feel fear, right? And when it comes to reaching our goals, we have to get comfortable with that fear feeling. We have to get comfortable with not really knowing what's going to happen, and maybe that this is something that's new, so it makes us feel uncomfortable. Maybe it makes the other people around us and our family feel uncomfortable because we have less time for them. But if your goal is to create a better life for yourself and for your family, you should be able to embrace your goals with both hands. A lot of times it's difficult for family members to understand this, and they may contribute to that overthinking, and they may tell you, well, you know, if you do this, it's going to be difficult for you to get a job. I heard that people don't get jobs, if, for example, in medical coding, and that is so difficult, and they may start to fill your head with lots of things, creating more of an overthinking problem. But you have to put all of that to the side, and you have to really hold on to your goals, and you have to face these fears head on. Overthinking happens when we are afraid, and when it comes to doing things that are new, you're going to have that feeling. It's okay to have that feeling. It's also okay to fail. You should never see failure as a failure. The only time that we can truly fail is if we quit. When you quit, then you fail. But if you fail at whatever it is and you get right back up and you try again, that is going to get you towards your goal a lot faster than if you just give it up completely. We have goals in mind because we all want a better life for ourselves and for our families and for those around us. Because if we are happy, that is contagious to others. So if you are out there and you perhaps are a medical coding student and you are trying to get through your program, you feel afraid, you don't know if you should take your test yet. If you have been through the program and you are already like in the study part before you take your certification and you're just waiting to schedule your exam, what are you waiting for? Schedule your exam. It is like ripping off a Band-Aid, okay? You just have to feel that fear and go full force at it, because when you're overthinking of, well, I don't think I'm ready, you're always going to feel that way. You're never going to be 100% confident in any test that you take. I mean, you can study a lot and you can study for long hours, but to be 100% confident, I don't think anyone is ever 100% confident. There's always going to be that little bit of doubt that comes into play, but it shouldn't stop you from sitting for your exam. I have heard from many people who finished a program and then it's 8 months later and sometimes it's a year later and they still haven't taken their exam. You went through that program. You've got to finish out your goal, which is to get your certification. But that overthinking comes into play and they're like, well, no, I can't. Yes, you can. At the end of the day, this message today is yes, you can. It is about overthinking, but it is also about you guys need to start believing in yourselves. When you're overthinking, that's showing that you don't believe in yourself. It is coming up with every excuse not to complete a goal or not to finish out something. The best feeling when you are going through a goal process is the end, seeing the goal in real life, whether that is getting a new job or getting your certification in medical coding. It is going to be all of those things, but you can't just let your fear stop you every time. You have to say, you know what? Yes, I am afraid, but I'm going to do it anyway. And you know what? If the worst case scenario happens, I will just take my test again. And yeah, it's a little bit more expensive, but if you have to pay to take it again, I know with AAPC, they do allow a free retake with some of their tests. So if you have to pay again, it's okay, because it is just an investment in your future. And that's what you can look at it like. But you know, for that second time you go to take your test, that you're going to study a lot harder. But you're going to stop that overthinking, because you know that that is probably what tripped you up in the beginning. So when you overthink, it's no good. It is an almost useless emotion, because a lot of things that we overthink about almost never come to fruition. You always have to put your best foot forward when it comes to anything that you do in life. And if you are starting in a new job as a medical coder, and you say, well, I really want to do a good job, and so I'm trying to take my time and go through these encounters as thoroughly as possible, you have to still get through with some sort of expediency. You can't just really overthink about every single encounter. You have to do the best you can. You have to rely on your training to guide you. And yes, there's going to be things that you learn. You're not going to learn everything overnight, and you're not going to know everything overnight. But the important thing is that you are still taking steps towards your goal. You're taking steps towards being a high caliber medical coder, or you're taking steps towards being a certified medical coder. It really all depends on you guys. But like I said, when we start to overthink, it's no good. And how can we combat this? We can start by telling ourselves to just stop and really start to focus in on what we want, which is at our end goal, whatever your end goal is. And write your goals down, guys. I know it sounds a little, but trust me, when you see it on paper, my hat is falling off. When you see it on paper, it does make it a lot easier, because you have something solid in front of you to see. And it can sort of combat some of that overthinking, because we have a path. We have a clear path. We know at the end of our path is our goal. And when you are doing that, it makes things so much easier. And it's setting yourself up for success. So feeling the fear and doing it anyway, being afraid, and not allowing that overthinking to take over and rob you from your goals is really what you want to do. That's how you want to be, because it's going to happen. It happens to all of us. It happens to the best of us. It happens to the most confident of us, but it happens to everyone. It just depends on how we handle it. And if you are taking the steps to catch those feelings of overthinking before it stops you, that is a really good thing, because at the end of the day, your goal is waiting, and all of the fruits of your labor are waiting for you. You just have to claim it. You have to speak life into the things that you want, instead of all the things that could possibly go wrong. You have to start thinking about all the things that can go right. And that's going to be another message I'm going to have in a future episode. But I want you guys to really start thinking about all the things that you want. And when you start to feel that overthinking feeling, that you start to think of all the negative things that could happen, start to think about the positive things that can happen. So as soon as you start to feel that negative thought, you got to fill it with a positive one. And those positive ones are going to drown out the negative ones. You see it in everyday life as well. A lot of times, what is the saying that you can please some of the people some of the time, but you can't please all the people all the time? It is the same thing with your thought process, right? As soon as you think of a negative thing, you start to think of a positive thing. And those positive feelings will be stronger than your negative feelings about whatever it is, your goals or what you're doing in your work life. So I hope that this helps. It's something that we all have to be reminded of as adults, that sometimes that we overthink. And even when we don't realize that we're doing it, and we think about it later on, like, oh yeah, I was overthinking. Think about all the things that you think of and how they almost never come to fruition. And that's another thing to consider. So again, I hope this message helps, and I hope that you will share this if you liked it, and I hope you'll tune in tomorrow for tomorrow's Vlogmas, which is Vlogmas Day 3. I'm going to wrap this one up. I will see y'all on the next video. Bye!